Stop right there. Deadpool? Deadpool? What? I'm not Deadpool. I thought Deadpool was a good guy. Why does everybody think I'm Deadpool? You got them guns and the swords. Yeah, well, lots of people have guns and swords, okay? On the way here, I passed like 25 people with guns and swords. By the way, he should be saying that he's not me, okay?
I'm going to go with Deadpool.
To be fair, I haven't seen this movie, but my kids were watching this movie. So obviously not Deadpool.
Okay. I'm like, wow.
And I was like, that's hilarious. That was Slade from Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Oh, I like Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
I thought that was
fun.
hilarious when I listened to that. Because that's Will Arnett's voice.
Yeah.
I liked also because I was doing something else and they were watching this show and I like all the stabs at Marvel during that. Like even Stan Lee was in there. I was like, that's funny.
Oh yeah. Isn't that oh no, there's another one. There's Teen Titans meets Teen Titans Go meets Teen Titans, and there's so many fun jabs. Like at the very beginning, there is the Teen Titans are excited to go to. Oh no, I think it's Go to the Movies where they're getting ready to go to a premiere of something, and you have Nick Cage who's Superman, and then you have a couple other, and it's like we're gonna go to see this movie, and I was like, is there any movies of you? And Superman's like, well, of course, there's plenty of them, and they're like, what about Wonder Woman? And she goes, well, it took some time, but now we're eventually here, and I can't remember the third one. The third one was like a total like diss or something like that. I can't remember what the third one is, but I loved the interplay in that movie.
Yeah, and I also like where they're like, and next year coming, Batman's the sidekick, and you're like, and Robin's like, it's me, they're gonna make a movie out of me, his Batmobile.
Yeah.
You're like, they're making a movie about a car, and then next summer they're making a movie about one of Batman's best friends ever, Commissioner Gordon. Or no,
yeah,
it was
I
Alfred.
think it's Alfred. Yeah,
Alfred. So it's just like, it was funny. I need to actually sit down and watch it, but that's
a good one.
I heard that quote and I was like, that's my quote. That was a couple weeks ago. I heard that. I was like,
nice.
Going for it. All righty. Welcome to the most dynamic audio arena, the Teen Titans, Utterly Useless podcast. Brace yourself for the arrival of our first contender, the master of metamorphosis, the shape-shifting sensation, Brett, the Beast Boy.
All right, I'm down with Beast Boy. I couldn't be a vegetarian like he is, but
I didn't know he's a vegetarian. But
well, because he turns into various animals, he sympathizes with the creatures that he can turn into.
That makes sense. I kind of figured you'd be happy about Beast Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And entertaining the scene alongside him, our tag team partner, the cybernetic powerhouse, none other than Timmy the Cyborg. And not the one from the movies. Because that one's lame.
No, nobody likes him. Not even him.
But wait, there's more. Completing our trio is the acrobatic maestro, the strategic savant, Jeremy, the Robin, aka me.
Yeah.
I like Robin.
Robin makes the movie. Robin makes the movie or the series as well as Starfire, because I love Starfire's like constant optimism.
Mm-hmm. I also like I forget her name.
Raven?
Yes, Raven. I like her like dryness. It's pretty funny.
I forget which Robin is it.
I thought for the longest time it was Damian Wayne's Robin, and then I'm like, they're not specific, so I'm just going to go out on the Dick Grayson Robin.
Okay.
All right, get ready, loyal listeners, for a show of epic proportions as these titans clash in the ring of banter, laughs, and utterly useless discussions. The Utterly Useless podcast awaits.
Utterly Useless, go.
I thought it'd be fun to be like, the beginning of the NBA games where they play that music and they're like, no, introducing
the Alan Parsons Project.
And get that one guy who gets paid like $1 million
just to say his
tagline.
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
All right, merit badges. What do we got?
Well, as merit badges go, this one I'm pretty excited for because I'm gonna call it what it is, but also it's multiple things. It's multiple layers. I got what's called the Herkel Durkel merit badge, and if you don't know what that is, I didn't either.
Okay.
So I learned what it is, and it's like an Irish term for somebody who it's an activity or like I don't know if it's a verb, I guess, but it's for when you lay in bed when you wake up and you just do it. You do everything in your bed. You get your phone, or you just lay in bed beyond the time you're supposed to get out. I Herkel Durkel my whole life. I love Herkel Durkling. And as Criddle was my roommate for a while, he knows that I definitely like to Herkel Durkel.
Herkel Durkel.
If I there's something about just laying in your bed and it's warm. It's just so nice. It's like, why do I want to leave this?
Especially when it's cold outside.
Uh-huh.
So how did you learn this word? Because I know sometimes that, smart devices will have like a word of the day. Is that what you did?
No, it's TikTok.
Oh, okay.
This lady's like, I just found out this word Herkel Durkel and I'm a Herkel Durkeler. And I'm like, yes, I am too. And so I looked it up too because I was like, this might just be an internet stupid lie thing. I was like, nope, sure enough, an Irish term for people who lay in bed beyond the time they're supposed to.
Nice.
I've definitely had meetings from my bed because I just did not want to get out of bed. So,
wow.
It's impressive.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I phone it in. Literally.
All right. Well, my merit badge this week is called I'll Allow It. So we all know that feeling we have when it's been a long day at work, you come home and you just kind of want to relax, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is the setup to that. I'm sitting there on the chair enjoying some entertainment, and I have 2 kids, and both of them are under the age of 10. And my boy is the oldest, and for some random reason they were just playing around, and my little girl was sitting on the couch taking a break for a second, and my boy came around and lifted himself a little to fart on her. and I had caught it in the glimpse of my eye, and it was just a and he was laughing hysterically and then ran away. And I was gonna say something, but then I said, I'll allow it.
Where did he fart on her? On her, what part of her body?
Her face.
Oh my gosh. And what was her response?
She got a little upset.
Understandably.
And then
so.
chased him.
Bravo for your kids figuring it out on their own and not going, Mom, Dad.
Yeah. So I was going to say something, because I thought, that's probably the dad thing to do. But then I'm like, I'll allow it.
Yeah, certain things they got to work out on their own.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but at least I think back to I've not done that to my brother or sister or whatever, but I'm sitting there thinking that's a plausible thing. And I think I would be super proud of myself to have done that. And then just to have that allowed. And it's just like, yeah. I mean, I don't think I would overuse it, but I think it being allowed to just be a silly thing, because now here's the reward. You can remember that, share that later, and then when your kid gets older and is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what my kid just did. He is like, oh really? I'd like to share something that I allowed.
The funny thing
and that's
is,
on record.
Uh-huh.
The funny thing is, I've done this to my kids myself.
I can see. Yeah. Yep, that checks.
Probably especially to my oldest, Jude. I think I've done it to him multiple times. So just part of the fatherly love.
I'll allow it.
All right, Brett, what do you got?
All right. So I had what do I want to call it? I want to call it thanks, but no, I want to call it, okay.
Thanks for all the fish?
No, almost thanks for all the fish. The great conversation. Thanks for a great conversation, I guess you could say. So on Thursday night, me and my brother-in-law, we went to a movie, And I, during the movie, got up, went to the bathroom. And as I'm going in the urinal, there is, and I will just put it like this, there was a male anti-pregnancy device in
Okay.
the urinal. And I just sat there and I'm like, that is so weird. That is so weird. And then I, using the stream maybe to see if I could like flip it over. It was because
I was going to ask, honestly.
it was one of those things where it's just like, it's there, it's odd, and you can tell it wasn't opened. So it wasn't just a wrapper, it was the entire thing or whatever. So I'm sitting there just kind of doing that. A little while later, my brother-in-law goes to the bathroom. A little while later, because I've been drinking so much water, I go again because the movie was just okay. And needless to say, we never made mention of it at all. Last night, coming home from our family dinner, my brother-in-law just goes up to me and just goes, "Hey, do you know the funniest thing? That movie that we saw yesterday?" And I'm sitting there thinking, was there something funny that I missed? Because some of it was, it's going to be like an unrecommendation kind of sort of maybe, but at the very end, so teaser for later. But I'm sitting there thinking, is there something I missed about the movie? And he just goes, when I went to the bathroom, and I go, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And he just goes, how did it get there? And so we started like trying to figure out how it got there, what happened, what was going on. Of course, all of our efforts to flip it over with a stream, and then it was just like, the whole process of who would do this? How could it would not fall out of somebody's pocket naturally like that? It had to have been there. Why did they put it there? And so we're just sitting there coming up with like plausible reasons why it happened. And then my brother-in-law goes, well, what do you think about that? After we talked about it, there's like a moment of silence. He goes, I almost want to buy one and put it in a urinal just so that somebody else can, pass on this conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, pay it forward. And then part of me thought about it. I'm like, what if somebody had that conversation and was like, I'm going to pay this conversation
What if it just keeps going? So was it open or no?
It was closed. It was completely sealed.
It was complete. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what if it was a kid that just like was going to get caught by his parents and he ditched it?
Yeah. I mean,
weird place to ditch it.
Weird place to ditch it. Part of me was just like, I wonder if there's two theater employees that, were about to, and then suddenly somebody comes in. Whoa!
Oh man, I dropped it in the toilet.
Dropped in the toilet. Oh man. But yeah, like that one thing caused like a 30-minute just fun conversation that I normally would never have had. And it was just one simple object in a urinal and the plausibility of why it was there, how it got there, and the effort of trying to flip it over.
This sounds like an episode of Seinfeld.
That's what I was thinking, honestly, too. I was thinking of the spitter episode. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I've been thinking about a lot about Seinfeld recently. I don't know why.
And so, I can't believe some weird thing in a urinal just created such a fun, weird conversation. And I also want to like pay it forward. I want to do something. And my brother-in-law just said, put a pair of googly eyes in a urinal. I'm like, that sounds fun.
That'd be fun to put up at like closer to the top, or at least put it around. They don't have where the little nozzle goes forward, the little handle that you flush.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one point it might have, but that could have been the nose. But yeah, it'd be fun to do. I saw on TikTok this person that goes around at the grocery stores and puts googly eyes on everything. Like they put on like, find something with 2 O's in its name and put googly eyes on it. a can of green beans or something, googly eyes on the Jolly Green Giant, and it's just hysterical.
Yeah. So if the person who did that is listening, much appreciated. That was fun.
Did this take any time away from like your memory or your mind capacity from the movie?
No.
Did you sit there and like go back to the movie and go, I wonder about that?
It was just one of those things where I was thinking about it at the time, went back to the movie, went back to the urinal, saw it, and then checked all the other urinals just see if there was like any like if this was like a complete like pay it forward in all of them. Because if it wasn't all of them, it's not special.
So the fact that you and our brother-in-law used it, the same urinal. Which urinal was it? Was it the far one?
It was the second one from the door.
Oh, okay.
So not the first one.
Okay.
And there's space from the door. So there's a space.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a hint. It was the old Sugar House Dollar Theater.
Okay. There's only one bathroom in that place too, right?
Yeah, there's yeah. Because I tried to convince myself at one point in time. Oh no, like there's some besides the one from the exit. No, there's not.
Yeah, that's funny. Good times.
Spin the wheel.
All right, spin the wheel where we have 10 categories of questions on the wheel. We're going to spin to decide who gets to ask what. Here we go. I'm up first and it looks like I get what if. Okay, what if you were Doc Brown creating a time machine and you could pick any car you wanted to? Which type of car would you pick for your time machine?
Oh.
Man, that's a hard question because the DeLorean is so iconic.
Yeah, it is.
Would you want it to be something that blends in, like just like a Toyota Camry? Or would you like it to be something more fancy, like the DeLorean, where it's really, no matter where you are, it stands out?
Isn't that the reason why Doc Brown picked the DeLorean is just style?
Yeah, well, yeah. And because at the time, and I love that there was a, what's that show? That 80s show with,
Goldbergs?
Yeah, the Goldbergs. There's a Goldbergs episode all about the DeLorean and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Or would you want a Tesla? Would you want it to be electronic versus gas?
I mean, by the second one, he has Mr. Fusion, so he can run the thing using
Garbage.
Organic.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I guess it's not organic because he throws in a soda can.
Mm-hmm.
That was always weird. He pours the soda in first, and then he throws the can in next. And I always like, that's a head scratcher. Like, okay,
Science.
Uh-huh.
I don't try to understand it. Just confused. I think I would go for something a little bit more blend into at least into our time frame personally. But obviously, when I go to the future or the past, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't go anything like Toyota Camry. It'll be fun, maybe something nice, something cozy for the trip. Nice seats. Maybe, you know what? Maybe to bring others, I just turn my van into it, my minivan. Like, all right, we're gonna get this sucker up to 85,
88.
88. Yeah, 88.
Let's see.
Let's see. Okay. Because part of me would like to like do like an old like 30s, 40s car. I think like
the Winchesters.
Yeah. But you know what? When you say the Winchesters, I'm like, what is their car? It's not.
I think it's a Chevy.
Yeah, I want to say.
I forget what kind.
I mean, part of me would also like, and for, I guess, I've always been fond of the Dukes of Hazzard car.
It's
so I could like
Chevy Impala 1967.
So I could like slide across the hood.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have it painted the same?
No.
I think I'd do like a truck, maybe like a Tacoma or something, so I can bring stuff.
There you go.
El Camino.
El Camino.
A Vista Cruiser.
A Geo.
A Geo.
You remember those
Oh
things?
my word. I remember our German teacher drove a Geo, and like he's a big guy, and you're just like, how do you like I swear one time somebody was just like, how do you fit? And he goes, very comfortably. It's just like, but like you're
like the size of the
your
car.
size. Like, and he goes, it's actually quite comfortable. And I just remember some kids just go, but you're like, like, he's not like super overweight, but he was a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Yeah.
And you're just like, how do the mechanics of this work? Like, a lot of us were like so interested to want to stay after school just to see him get in his car. But, once school's over, you lose all interest in that.
Mm-hmm. Smart car would be even worse.
Oh, my word. Smart.
Mini Cooper?
Mini Cooper would be fun. Then I could do a job in Italy.
They don't drive it in Italy. Come on, Brad.
I don't know. You also want a car that would look cool flying too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the flying component. I don't know what kind of car would look cool flying.
I think you got it right with the Winchester's car. I think that would look cool. But
it's got a nice back seat and it's got the bench seats. Too.
Either that or the Starsky and Hutch car. That'd be a good one.
Okay, I'm convinced, and I'm partial to the Winchesters anyway. All right, Curdle, you're up next, and it looks like you got Would You Rather.
This is going to be kind of a play on your thing of like weak powers.
Okay.
Would you rather have the power to turn into any toy or have the ability to turn your thumb into a drinking fountain?
First of all, can I turn into a toy like anytime? I can turn into any toy.
Anytime, any toy.
And I'm a living, breathing version of that toy. Or am I just a toy at that point?
You're just a toy at that point.
So I'm not like Woody or Buzz
No.
that can move. I'm just frozen as a toy.
You're just frozen as a toy.
I don't see the benefits of that.
But you have that conscious
element
effort.
of surprise.
You have that consciousness like in the toy. Like you can't move any parts of the toy or anything, but you have the ability to like think.
Uh-huh.
You see, but like it's almost like you're in a coma a sense, but
you're awake coma.
You're in a awake coma, yeah.
Or you're paralyzed. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you're paralyzed.
Okay.
Until you turn back. Which I could be a fantastic part to a haunted house. Like in addition, like that doll changes and like he disappears and he's in a different room and things are all different and all the Mountain Dew's gone.
You've heard of Robert the Doll. This is Jeremy the Doll.
He's over there. Now he's over there.
Look, he didn't have a Mountain Dew. Now he does.
Or your thumb's a drinking fountain. And I'm assuming that this is like magical water that's coming out of nowhere. It's not like tapping into my body's water, right?
Yeah, it's
just cycling.
Magic water comes out of nowhere. You're just like,
okay, I'm going with the thumb.
I'm gonna go with turning myself into any toy.
If I could move, I would probably lean towards the toy because then I could be like, like a CIA operative kind of thing. Like just like
you could turn into any toy, not just one toy, any toy.
Yeah, but like I'm only thinking of action figures. Like if I was to, but if I turn into an airplane, I can't fly.
No,
that's the sad part. What toy would you turn into, Brett?
I mean, I would just turn into various things. Like if I suspected something, I'm like, all right, it's toy time. And then I would maybe turn into like a transformer and just so and then I would just kind of wait it out and watch. And then suddenly if what I suspected happened, I would just like turn it and it's like, hey, and they're like, hey, where'd you come from? And generally, there'd be like some scaring, screaming and stuff like that, maybe some pants peeing. And I'd be like, that's right. I was here the whole time.
So would you turn yourself into a toy and just to have yourself purchased at like a pawn shop to make money? And then you transform again. You're like,
no, that's a weekend for me. That's a good weekend right there.
I don't think I'd do that because what if they're just like, oh my gosh, look at this. This is vintage. This is very, let's just check to make sure it's vintage. Okay, get this scraper. Let's take a chunk out of it. I'm not having anybody take a chunk out of me. Because I feel as though if you got a chunk taken out of as a toy, you get a chunk taken out of you as a person.
But I could have a pretty promising career as a spy, I feel like, in this. Because like somebody could mail me as a toy to their kid. And now I'm in their house watching everything.
Yeah. The downside is you get lost in the mail.
I mean, and all of a sudden the plane crashes. I'm in the ocean. It's like, oh, now I'm in a box in the ocean and I can't get out until.
And then suddenly you hear Tom Hanks. You're like, open me. You're just like willing yourself. Open me. And
You're
he
a
goes,
volleyball.
I'm going to open all of them except for this one. And you're like, no.
What would you pick, Riddle?
I'd pick turning it into a toy.
Okay. I probably need the water too. So I'll pick the water.
I find it a little, I don't know, it'd be a little strange to be like, all right, I'm going to drink from myself.
Yeah. They're like,
The weirdest thing is like, hey, you want a drink? Anybody?
This turns into like stranded on a desert island. You're stranded on a desert island, and the person that you're with convinces you the only fresh water that you can drink comes out of their thumb. Would you be stranded on that?
I would do it.
It's like,
If he could like show me that water's coming out of it and then he drinks it and he survives of it, all right, I'm in.
the funny thing about that would be is if it was just purely, it only comes out when it's being sucked on. So you can't.
Oh, gosh. It's like a baby bottle. Oh, God.
All right, that's enough.
He wakes up in the middle of the night. He's like, what's going on? He's like, I was thirsty. Oh, gosh. Oh, man. That's funny. I feel like there's a good skit there. We're not so different after all. All right, Brett, you're up and you got Could You Fight It?
All right. So as we are a day of recording, a day away from the Super Bowl, I think back about some of my favorite Super Bowl commercials. And when this Could You Fight It popped up, I was like, I like this. Perfect timing. Because the first time I ever saw this commercial was during a Super Bowl. So could you fight Terry Tate, office linebacker? I don't know if you remember that Super Bowl commercial.
No, I don't.
They hide this. It's kind of like, I think pre-Office or whatever. It was one of those commercials where he's sitting there, people are sitting there talking to a camera and just like, oh, work production was kind of mild. And then I decided to, hire Terry Tate, office linebacker. And it's this guy in shoulder pads and football thing. And he is basically like, writing everybody. And, the more they might like waffle on their work, the more he like kind of gets energetically and just will start randomly tackling
them.
people. Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. I vaguely remember this commercial. I'm watching it right now as well.
Oh.
But yeah. Okay. Sorry, your question again was like...
So could you fight Terry Tate, office linebacker?
Nope. Nope. I haven't seen people get hit and I would be running. And so it would be like The Replacements where like that cop is... I think the cop chases...
Uh-huh.
Isn't he chasing somebody and somebody's kind of running away from him?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just making that up. But yeah, it'd be like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Brett, could you?
I would like to think I could, but I'm not in that kind of shape, and I don't have the energy that Terry Tate has. So, I mean, I would try and fail. I'd give it the good old office try.
Well, Criddle, I'm curious if what you're going to say now. Is it going to be Criddle's patented patent comment?
If I have the ability to turn into a toy.
What if you were able to have water come out of your thumb?
Terry! I'd give it the college try.
There it is. There it is. Oh, man. The funny thing is, I have some other questions that are like this. And so, And my turn is how much? And I do have almost the same question for this.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay, how much? How much would you be paid to be tackled by an NFL linebacker while in pursuit?
So am I in...
So you're like, you have the ball.
Okay.
You're trying to get to the end zone.
So I have equipment on.
Yes,
you are
in pads.
I'm not like, just minding my own business 9 to 5 and Terry Tate is pursuing me.
Nope.
Okay.
You are in pads. You are trying to get, for whatever reason, you are trying to get to the end zone. and he's going to tackle you.
Is this a Super Bowl or is this
Sure,
just
we'll
a
call it-
game?
We'll just call it the Super Bowl.
All right, it's the Super Bowl. So, I think I'd do it for let's see. How much would it be fined if I took off my helmet afterwards?
You're talking about in the game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the fine is for that.
All right. I'm going to go $100,000 because what I want to do, regardless of whether I get tackled or not, I would rip off my helmet and just get my face on TV and get notoriety for doing something. And then, perhaps I could get some epic contract. So I would like some money up front to pay for my NFL fine for removing my helmet.
I thought it'd be funny if you were going to say I'd like some big pads and then just make my head disappear in my pads. And so when he took off my helmet, there's no head there.
I'm not what's his face. I'm not Ron, where I can just hide in my pants.
Yeah. How about you?
I mean, if I'm fully protected and it's during a game, I mean, like $100.
$100. Okay.
I'm just happy to be here.
I would probably go for 5,000, I think. Just enough to get some money. And also, I don't know, maybe 5,000. I don't know. Because it's only one tackle.
If I have the ball and I'm running, I mean, he has to tackle me.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to outmaneuver him,
But he's
greater
running
reward.
towards you. You're actually running towards his direction also.
I mean,
Yeah, and you can't go out of bounds. You can't slide. You can't.
yeah, I'd still do $100.
Oh, man, I would think I would just calculate mentally, just as I'm running and I see him. I'd be like, all right,
I mean,
I need to be in this position to fall this way.
I used to be a lineman in high school, so I mean, I know some stances to take. I know to drop your shoulders, and so I know some positionings that will help me with the impact. Will it hurt? Probably.
Yeah.
Will I leave the game after? Definitely.
I'd be like, Coach, I'm out of here.
Pay me my $100.
They come and walk on the field, give you your money, and you walk off, and you're waving. You're on the cart. They drive out.
It's that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it 10,000 for me. All right, Criddle, you're up with Kiss, Marry, Kill.
All right, we are going with Kiss, Marry, Kill. Due to the nature of the Super Bowl coming up, we are going to do chip condiments.
Ooh, chip condiments.
So we're doing guacamole.
Okay.
Queso.
Okay.
Salsa.
I know Brett's order. Your order's not hard. My order's much harder, I feel like. Is it whatever queso and guacamole and salsa that...
Imagine, if you will, the best guacamole you've ever
Okay.
had, the best queso sauce you've ever had, and the best salsa you've
The
ever had.
best, Jerry, the best.
The best. And you have to decide.
That's hard for me. But let me just weigh in on Brett.
All right. So if I had to do this, and if you are saying the best, so I'm not, I've had a renaissance of one of these things lately, because I as a kid, I OD'd on one of these things and was grossed out for over 30 years. However, when done right, I believe one of them could be kissable. So I'm going to go out with marrying salsa, the best salsa. I will kiss guacamole.
What?
Yeah, I told you. I remember being like 7 years old, really loving.
I never knew you ever loved avocados.
I loved avocados. I would sit there, and when I was over at Grandma and Grandpa's house, Grandma would be doing stuff and cutting off slivers of this and that, and I loved it. And then there was a point in time where I ate one. I'm like, I never want to eat another piece of guacamole or avocado ever again. And it actually physically got me ill. And so then there was about a 30-year period where I just refused. Like, if there was anything with guacamole on or avocado, I'd be like, shove off to the side.
Yeah, because you called it nature's Crisco.
Yep, nature's Crisco.
Like the way that the texture, the
Yep.
mouth presence.
I still don't like. I will not eat avocados plain because of the texture.
Mm-hmm.
But a good guacamole or whatever, I could do. Like cheese, I just see all of the like gloopy. Even though this is like the perfect thing, I see like oil and grease just floating on the surface of that, and that just grosses me out. And so that's why I would also kiss avocado and kill nacho or queso.
Okay, well, that took me by surprise. I would have been wrong when I said I knew what yours was. I am going to marry guacamole because it's the best. Jerry's the best.
It's the best.
And I mean, like the best guacamole, you got health factor, you got delicious factor, and salsa. Salsa does have like a peak. I feel like but the peak isn't as high as guacamole's, but its consistency at being good is higher than cheese, nacho cheese, and guacamole. So like it's consistent, which is good. But because of that, I don't want consistent. I want great, and this is the best. I'm going to marry guacamole, and I'm going to kiss nacho cheese because nacho cheese is fantastic. And just because it's plain Jane to me in comparison to the best of the other two, I'm killing salsa, even though I love salsa. But it's just like not as good comparison to the other two.
Okay.
What about you?
I would do the same thing. Guac, marry guac, kiss queso, and kill salsa. I find salsa to be a lot of times, even though you find your best, you have it one time here and then another time there, and they can be totally different.
Yep.
And so I'm like,
I kind of like the mango salsas. Do you like those?
No.
Yeah, I like mango salsa.
Oh man, I like those.
Mango salsa, pineapple, peach salsa.
So gross.
There's a strawberry salsa.
I never had that one.
There's a cherry salsa. I know
I think I've tried that one. Yeah, I like the sweet salsas.
Salsa
I like
verde.
And do you know what's really weird about me?
salsa verde is good.
I really like pace. Picante pace. I do. We grew up on it and I love it still.
Nostalgic.
It's way better than the Costco Kirkland brand.
Don't you miss the Pace commercials?
Oh yes.
This
New York City.
New York City.
Oh yeah. All right, Brett, you're up with Lick Off.
All right. So this one also is thanks to a movie theater thing. I was watching, and maybe, I'm not going to say where Tim works would do this, but you do see certain things, especially possibly during the summertime, during summer camps. But the button on the soda fountain machine, I was sitting there watching the grossest kid, take his hand, wipe it right up his nose, and then hit the Soda Stream button. And then a little while later, I watched somebody else just kind of do certain things, lick their finger. I'm sitting there just like, this is so gross. Like this is in public display. Everybody has had they not seen what I just saw, and what happened before? That's the other question, is what happened before I saw all this? So licking the Soda Stream button on one of those dispensers at a random point in the day, so you could either get the brisk taste of cleaning solution or the possibilities of variety of whatever is on people's hands at the time of touching it.
There was one time I was in a restaurant and I saw a guy have his hand in his pants.
Oh,
scratching his rear, and then he goes and same hand pushes a button on the soda machine. I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that one.
If your hands go underneath your clothing in any capacity and you're in public, you got to do that in a way that nobody can see. I guess if it goes under your shirt, that's kind of acceptable. Like you're scratching your back underneath your shirt, but still, like, was this like where you were standing up in line?
Yeah. I wasn't like in the soda line. I
Uh-huh.
was like waiting for food, and it just caught my corner of my eye, and I'm like,
Sound like Putty was there. That's gross. That's gross that somebody did that in front of you.
I mean, he was a fairly larger guy wearing sweatpants, and
For some reason, I don't know why it is, but larger people have no shame when it comes to stuff like that. I feel like they have less shame.
I was like, oh.
All right, I guess I'm off to Brett's left. I'll go first. Licking the button. Just the button?
Yeah, just kind of going right across the diameter, not the, yeah, do I want to say diameter? Not the circumference, not the radius. Diameter
Yeah.
goes across, yeah. So just a straight line diameter across the button.
Are we talking about like one of these Coke machines?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
The
Sorry.
push for stream button. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's like
that
one
silver
to
button.
two. It's like 1 to 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We all know Tim's going to win. So.
Yeah. I'll start off with $5,000.
You guys just think I'm gross, don't you?
No, we just know you'll do anything for money. Just kidding. Or you're just not deterred by grossness.
That's why I tried. When I saw this, I was like, it hit me in the head. I'm like, Tim sees this possibly on a daily basis, especially more often in the summertime with the youth camps. And so I'm like, maybe this will gross him out.
Well, so full disclosure,
He's done this before. I'm just kidding.
it was one. Okay, so we just got these our freestyle machines, after summer camps. So,
Okay.
So they've never been there through a summer yet.
Okay.
So I've not seen anything. So I mean, it is a mystery this summer. So I'm not sure what will happen. But I'm going to be super conscious of it watching it.
Always watching.
Okay, so what was your number?
5,000.
5,000? 4,000.
3,000.
I mean, I see what other kids touch, and it's funny at that
Can
age.
we pick the location? If I'm like wanting to do this at the movie theater, or if I'm going to
but it's a random time. You cannot do your research like, oh, okay, they clean it on the hour like every single time or whatever. Like it is a random time.
Okay.
We can go to like Five Guys or something smaller establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, less people coming in and from playing sports or college classes or whatever.
I mean, during COVID, this would have been a piece of cake.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let's go 3,000.
2,000.
1,000, Bob.
999, Bob. Just kidding. I'm going 900.
799.
500.
499.
300.
299.
199.
99.
I knew you were going to say it. 75.
69.
60.
$45.50.
I was waiting for the sentence to start.
Just say 99.
Uh-huh.
So essentially $45.
If it's inconvenient for me,
It's all in pennies. $40.
35.
I'm gonna let you have it for 35.
35. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations.
I got
I'm looking
hepatitis.
forward for the summer podcast when you see something and you're just like, I would have licked that for $35. The merit badge will be lick off remorse.
Yep. Once we spin this off into a YouTube channel, then and we get all the advertisements from it, that will go towards the money that you get paid to lick all
Awesome.
these things.
All right.
All right, I'm throwing a curveball at you guys. It's prop bets.
Oh, I love prop bets. Oh, these are my favorite things about the Super Bowl. I mean, the sad part about it is right after, like, this is coming out the day after, so everybody will know possibly what the results are. But I love prop bets so much.
All right. So first we have here. So if you're not familiar with prop bets are just interesting bets on the Super Bowl. So first here, length of the national anthem in seconds. Is it going to be over 87 and a half?
I don't know who is singing it.
It is Reba McEntire.
It's going to go over.
I say under.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think she's going to draw it out. I don't know her music very well, but I just don't think she will.
I don't know. She's going to give it a country twang. In the Rockets red.
Well, and everybody's always like, debating. And that, to me, like, that's the scariest prop bet, is because when is it considered over? Is it when she finishes singing the brave, or when she gets to the word brave? Because if she extends the word brave, and obviously generally they have like flyovers. So like when is it officially over?
My opinion would be is when she's done saying the last syllable of brave, because she's still singing at that time. And the length of national anthem is not over until the last syllable is said.
I'm going over because it is a singer moment, and it is a big event, and they want to shine.
Yeah, but if it was, obviously she's passed, but this is the first person that came to mind. Whitney Houston. If Whitney Houston was alive, like, that's an individual that would sing and just, draw it out as much as possible. But I don't know about Reba. All right, next one is coin toss. Results, heads or tails. Isn't there like a 0.5% chance of it being heads or something?
I think so. I think it's slightly
like weighted that way.
I am going heads.
I'm going to go tails.
I likewise am going tails. All right, game winner.
Oh, right.
49ers or Chiefs?
I'm going to go Chiefs.
49ers.
I'm going Chiefs. That's my feeling. I felt that way. I kind of felt like the Chiefs were going to make it all the way, even though.
If the Niners are on their game, and I know the 49ers have been wildly inconsistent, I think if they are on point, then they will win.
So this gets real nerdy stuff. And listeners, I don't really follow the NFL, so this is a lot for me. So I saw on TikTok last night that the 49ers are pretty ticked off at their training facility because they're training at UNLV outside in the elements. The Chiefs have the training facility of the Raiders training facility.
Oh.
And so they are ticked off about, first of all, I guess there's a huge issue about like the sponginess of like grass and training on that. And I'm like, that's weird. That's like, I don't know. But then like you're outside. I get that. That's unfortunate. And
so they're snobs.
Yeah. So they're just saying that already out of the gate, the 49ers have like a disadvantage, which I was like, is it though? It's just training.
Well, I mean, it's like the athletes that come to Utah to train for the Olympics so that they have like a better like lung capacity. Like if they're more strenuated or whatever, maybe they have better probability of being a little tad bit more stronger than just being like in a perfect field.
Yep, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. So either way, I'm going Chiefs regardless of that. Game total. Is it going to be over 47.5 or under?
Over.
I agree. I'm going to go over.
There's part of me that's saying under. Part of me is saying over. I'm going to say over. This is the first time I'm in the other column. First offensive play of the game, run or a pass?
Run.
I'm going to go pass.
Run.
If it's the Niners, they'll pass it, right? No, they'd also run to McCaffrey.
They got McCaffrey. McCaffrey's a
bulldozer.
The
Chiefs, if they go first, they're more of a pass game, aren't they?
They got Pachenko, so I'd say they run. Either way, I think
run. We'll go run. Will there be a score in the first 6 minutes and 59 seconds?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say no, Bob.
Wow.
Team to score first, Niners or Chiefs?
Niners.
I'm going to go Niners.
I'm going Chiefs. Jersey number of first touchdown score. Is it going to be an odd number or an even number?
Let's see.
Of course, it's an odd number. It's
Okay.
number 23.
Is that McCaffrey?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
And,
going.
well,
I'm going to
isn't
go
Kelsey
odd.
13?
Kelsey is 87.
So he's odd. Oh, 13 is his girlfriend. Never mind. Taylor Swift. Let's see. 87 and McCaffrey's 20 what? 3?
23.
And then what is Pachenko?
Pachenko, isn't he like 20 or I don't know. I don't remember.
And then you have Mahomes, who's 10, because he could always run it in.
True story.
Yeah, I'm going odd.
Okay. Yep, me too. Odd. I think I'd like to see what the odds are for these, since it seems like they're a little weighted towards odd.
Mm-hmm.
First accepted penalty will be against
The Niners.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
A score in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say no. Will a team score 3 consecutive times, not including
Point after
No.
touchdowns. No, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no too.
That's my first no. Or that's my first one on the right side.
That's
Wow.
your first one on the right side? Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we know who's going to... You're going to either win this fantastically, or you're going to lose horribly.
Okay, Brock Purdy passing yards. So Brock Purdy, you said he's the quarterback of the Niners?
He's the Niners quarterback.
Okay. I'm going to say under.
I'm going to go under.
248 and a half.
248 and a
I'm
half.
going to go over.
Of course you are. That's on the other side. Patrick Mahomes passing yards, 260.5. Over, under.
I'm gonna
say
go
over.
I'm going to go over.
Are you going on the over too, Criddle?
Yep.
Just checking you're on that side.
Yep.
Total receiving yards from George Kittle. Now, George Kittle, he is a receiver, I assume?
Yes.
Or is he a tight
Is he a
end?
tight end?
Tight-
He's
well,
a tight end,
tight
isn't
end.
he?
Oh,
I'm going to say under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
I'll go opposite and say over.
Of course, that's in the left column. Now, oh, wait a minute. I messed up. Did I skip one day? I missed Patrick. No, I did
No,
Patrick.
you
Mahomes.
got it.
Okay, never mind. I know where I got mixed up. Okay, total receiving yards for Travis Kelce. Over 70 and a half?
Over.
I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go over. Length of longest successful field goal in yards. Under 46 and a half or over?
I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go under 2. The only way, obviously, is I feel like in the last
Yeah, the last
4 minutes, 5 minutes.
I will say, I'm going to say under.
Wow.
Ooh, you're a right columner right now. Team with the longest successful field goal.
I think that will be, The
Who are the kickers?
The Niners have been kind of, they've missed a couple lately.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to say Chiefs.
I don't even know who their kickers are. That's obviously not too much, but
The longest.
whatever. I'm gonna say Niners. Length of longest touchdown in yards. Over 44 and a half or under 44 and a half. I'm gonna say, and this would count like a pick 6, right?
I'm going to say over.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going over. I feel like that one is I don't know. That feels like a shoe-in to me. I don't know. Team with the longest touchdown, 49ers or Chiefs?
Oh, the Niners.
I'm going to go Niners because I could just see McCaffrey break through and just keep going and going and going.
I'm going to go Chiefs. Let's see. Total QB sacks. Over 4.5. So this is both sides and under 4.5.
I'm going to go over.
A combined total?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's combined total.
Over.
Yep, I agree. Total turnovers, over 2.5 or under 2?
I'm going to go over.
Over.
Yeah, agreed. Number of challenges initiated by coaches, over 1.5 or
I'm going
under?
over.
Yeah, over 1.5.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
over.
Will there be a missed extra point, 1 or 2 point? I'm going to say no.
Ooh. I mean, if it goes for a 2-point conversion,
Yes.
that's the only thing that could possibly, but I
It's
agree.
it comes down to the last quarter. on
Yeah.
I'm
gonna
going to
go-
say yes.
that. So you think it's going to be a close game?
Yes.
I assume by that.
I don't know. I think there's going to be risks.
Okay. Color of Gatorade bath. Water. So this is one answer.
Uh-huh.
Water, clear, orange, or any other color.
I'm going to go any other color.
Yeah, red. Come on.
Any other
and
color.
blue.
Uh-huh. And purple.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah. How's that even an option? Anyway. And who would do water? Do they do water anymore?
I have no idea.
I've never seen somebody do water except like if they can't afford Gatorade, and that's not going to happen in the NFL. Okay, last one. Position of Super Bowl MVP: quarterback or any other position?
I'm going to go any other position.
I think it'll still come down to the quarterbacks.
I think it will be quarterback.
All right. Stay tuned until next week
Yeah.
to find out our Super Bowl prop bets, who wins, and was choosing the majority of them on one column the appropriate strategy.
I have 4 on the right.
Wow, I'm almost even. I'm slightly more on the left. I thought you were mainly on the. Oh, you have 4 on the right. Yes, you were mainly on the left. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm mainly on the left. What would you say you are, Brett?
I think I'm.
Yeah, yours is pretty darn down the middle there.
I mean, out of the 3 of us at this table, there's only one of us had a sports gambling problem. So,
Oh, I don't know why I'm just reminded of this, but funny story. Bretton, this may have happened to you. So, because you had the same teachers I had. So we had a shop teacher, named Mr. Shaw. And he had this one test that he made all the answers
A.
And it was so hard mentally. Because you're like, I know the answer's A, but it can't be A again for the 40th time. And
then I swear, at least when we did it, it took us one whole class period and part of another one to get done.
mm-hmm.
And then when he's like, "Hey, let's grade their paper, count however many A's you have, and that's your score." And it's just like, "Wait, what?" And he's just like, "Yeah." And legitimately, every single answer was A. Like the first 75 of them were A, B, C, D, and then the last 25 were true and false.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think I got 1 or 2 wrong because I couldn't do pure A's.
I think I ended up with like 74. And there was like, when I re-looked at it, there was 12 that I had changed from A.
Oh, man. All right. Well, now it's time for our draft. So we are going to be drafting because of the Super Bowl being tomorrow and getting in the spirits of it. We're going to be drafting Christmas movies. Nope. Never mind. Sorry. Wrong day. Just kidding. Football movies. So we're going to be drafting football movies that we enjoy, obviously. I don't know however you want to draft it. If you think it's the best, whatever. I don't care. That's on you. So I get the first pick, and I told you pre-recording that I don't like having the first pick here because I rather have the wheel. So
I'll get the wheel.
yeah,
Just hopefully, if everything is done correctly, after a lot of good ones are already off the board.
I'm hoping one of them slips by. I have a good feeling it will, but I'm going to start off with The Replacements.
No, I was hoping you'd go with something else.
That was on my list.
The Replacements is, I think, one of the, like, if we ever did this with baseball movies, for example,
Mhm.
this is like an enjoyable movie like Rook of the Year, Angels of the Outfield, Major League 2. It's fun. It's a good time. It's a good time. And yeah. So I am happy with my pick. And who would have thunk it that Keanu Reeves, and then having the famous director, oh man, his name just fell out of my head. What is his name? Who is the cop?
Oh, what's his
John
face?
Favreau.
John Favreau in there. Like,
Yeah.
Who would have figured that movie was going to be as great as it was? But I really enjoy it. It's a great movie.
I recently bought that over the holidays. It was on sale on Amazon and digitally, and so I just was like, let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's a great movie. I need to go watch it. I haven't seen it in forever.
Yeah. I just like those comedy sport movies so much.
The dynamic of all those characters was just great. It was a fun watch.
Which now in hindsight, they have not made a comedy sport movie in I feel like forever.
Yeah.
Like That was the 90s.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there.
90s
Early
was-
2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Criddle, you're up.
All right. I'm going to go with, I think this movie came out in 2000.
Oh, I know what you're going
We're
for.
going for Remember the Titans.
Yep.
I thought Jeremy was going to go with that as his number one.
Nope.
We are the Titans.
I kind of got burnt out on it. Like I loved it when it came out. I will definitely watched it a ton, but I don't want to watch it anymore. Really, I don't know. It's a movie that I'll be like to my kids. We need to watch this at a certain point in their life. You
Mhm.
know, pass on that that information, that knowledge of how great movies were back then. But I don't need to watch it until then.
Yeah, I enjoyed Remember the Titans. I mean, it's something I quote
Mm-hmm.
from here.
Oh
there,
no,
time to
definitely.
time.
It is
It's-
something that's in my head and locked in there. It is a great movie. I just got burnt out on it. That's all.
I understand.
All right. So my first pick, I mean, the replacements. I actually had you passing on that in the first round, and going with Titans. So I'm gonna go with my first round pick is The Little Giants.
Oh, that did
Dang
not
it.
come back to me. I was hoping
Love Little Giants.
people would forget about Little Giants.
Ah, no, I
How
know the
could
play.
you forget?
I
It's
know
a
the
great.
play.
I
It's great.
just hoping. It's just hoping because that would have been a great number 2. This is where being a wheel is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I love that the kid puts a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his helmet.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I always think of like the kid walking with all the pads. My mom says the pads you gave me weren't good enough.
You want intimidation? I'll show you intimidation. Arr.
I was considering showing my kids that the other day. I was like, I think they might like Little Giants. They're at that age where
So at the same time I bought the replacements, the Little Giants was also on sale at
Oh, yeah.
digitally. So I bought it too. So I'm like, I got them both. Now I can watch them both. It's awesome.
I like it. I need to find a streaming service that hopefully streams it. Hopefully Disney has it because it is a Disney movie.
You'd think it would. They would. This one's hard. The second one is hard. I mean, I know a lot of you will be sad that I was not going to take the obvious next pick, which is Air Bud Golden Receiver.
Obviously.
But I'm not going to pick that one. So that one's still up on the board. So
Not another teen movie.
that's a possibility later.
No.
Okay, Jeremy's going to pick it, so it's not a possibility. Part of me wanted to be like, all right, so we're going to go with the football. So obviously I have to pick the great football movie of the Ladybugs.
That's a wrong football.
Okay, I know. So
You people.
I am going to go with, I do like this movie. I think the newer one is
Okay.
too silly. I'm going to go with The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds.
I've never seen the original.
I think it's really good. And the scene where, in the newer movie where Chris Rock dies, it's even more heartbreaking in the original version than in the Adam Sandler version.
I bet. Because, that movie was over the top.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cradle, you're up.
Wow. So the remake of Longest Yard is still available?
Yep.
I would like a comedy, not just like serious dramas in my lineup.
I'm waiting for Criddle to just be like Varsity Blues so that he can use the word, I don't want your life.
I'm gonna go with the Water Boy.
I was like, if you want a comedy, you should just pick Waterboy. That's the better Adam Sandler football movie. That's funny that he has 2 football movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so Waterboy's off the board.
I have other ones that I think will slide under the radar, but we'll see.
Okay. I'm looking at my leftover list, and I feel like my list is pretty all encompassing of every football movie. And if you guys come up with one out of it, I'll be sad. I am going to strategize here. I might have a tough time with a fourth pick because I have two, and I'm just like, should I pick them now?
But Mama said.
Mama. Okay, I'm gonna pick two now, and then I'm not gonna do strategy. I'm just gonna pick the two I really want. I'm gonna pick them in the order that I like them in. I'm gonna pick Draft Day.
That's a good one.
Dang it.
Sucker. And I'm gonna pick Invincible.
That's on my list too. Well, I'm not surprised. We're all probably have the same movies.
Yeah. All right, Criddle, back to you. Draft Day is surprisingly
It is good.
Entertaining.
good. I was like just the title alone is like, oh,
Isn't Ivan Reitman the director?
Well,
I don't even know.
the sad thing about it is I think Draft Day gets overlooked by that Brad Pitt baseball movie.
Oh, yeah.
Moneyball.
I love Moneyball. It's like one of my top 5 favorites.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really care for it the first
I
time.
don't know why. I really like it for some reason.
But
So my turn. We're gonna go with. We'll go with Rudy.
okay.
I'm so glad that you chose that one because unpopular opinion, I don't like that movie.
It's okay. I mean, I definitely got the heartwarming feelings from watching it, but it was like, okay, one and done is what I always say. One and done. Just kidding.
I mean, I know, like, what is it? Because I've listened to lots of, it's going to go into sports talk radio. I know the bigger sports movies, or sorry, not sports movies, football movies is Rudy. Then you have The Express, which is based off of a true story. And there's another, Brian's Song, which is another one. And I was going to go with neither one of them just because, I don't know, it's just, I want more comedy and I want more kind of, if it's going to be drama, I want it to be not real life drama, kind of. That's why I would not have also picked Remember the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
So with my wheel, the next one I would pick is, I'm going to go with, I do like this one. This is an Oliver Stone movie. I'm going to go with Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino, Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
That's a really good movie.
Oh.
I have yet to see that. I don't know why. It never appealed to me. Is it good?
I enjoy it. I feel as though you probably would not like it personally, but who knows? You could surprise me. But I enjoyed it for what it was. And the scary part about it is I remember when it first came out, a lot of people were criticizing it. And I think the longer that it's been out, the more it's just like, oh my word, this movie came out before its time because this is, you get that Concussion movie with Will Smith and whatnot. And there's like, oh my word, like this movie like set stuff up that was kind of maybe either known but not talked about. And the brutality of the football business, as well as the grind of being a football player, as well as the grind of being a coach.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the best way I could also describe it too is it's a more serious version of The Replacements.
Okay. Makes sense.
All right. And my last one, I would like to pick not another teen movie.
Bet you would.
I really would like to, but I don't think it's an option. I'm going to go confer with the... Okay.
No, it's not about football.
But
Yeah.
there's a game-winning touchdown.
It's as much about football as Happy Gilmore is about hockey. In fact, Happy Gilmore is more about hockey than that movie's about football.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, I know. We're picking through scraps at the end. I know.
I was really hoping you'd give me that one.
Nope.
Okay, fine. I'm going to go with... I'm not liking this one. I'm going to go with Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
I was wondering what you were going to pick because I was like, this is a rock and a hard place here. Okay.
I mean, I'd like to do Forrest Gump also, but I know that I would get rejected for that too.
I mean, part of me is like, that's fine, but the spirit of it, no.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I don't care. I don't like Forrest Gump. If I never watch the movie again, I'll be happy. I mean, that's another staple in my head that is burned into my head. It is part of pop culture. I appreciate it for what it was, but my eyes don't need to be exposed to it again. It can live forever in my brain.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
All right,
Tim.
Criddle.
My last
You're
pick. My last pick. Oh. Well, I know there's a couple of options that I could pick. A lot of them might be honorable mentions, but
I have 0 honorable mentions. I have a list that are left over, but like I said, I'm picking through scraps.
I'm gonna pick. This is a movie that I enjoyed when I saw it, and I could watch it again. It's The Home Team.
The Home Team.
I've heard that.
What is The Home Team? This is the first one that's not on my list.
The Home Team has Kevin James in it. He plays Manning. Is it which one?
Oh, I now have regret. I know which one I would have picked.
Which one?
Sean Payton. Kevin James plays Sean Payton.
Adam Sandler's in it.
That's right. I
I have
remember that one.
never heard of this movie. It's on
Wasn't
Netflix.
wasn't
It's on
that
Netflix.
that was a Netflix?
This came out in 2022.
22, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a comedy.
It's a biographical sports comedy
It's a
film.
good. It's a good family movie.
Mm-hmm.
I have never heard of this.
It's a decent family movie.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna go with that.
But what were you gonna pick?
I wish I would have picked, and I don't care if you still is American Underdog, the true story about Kurt Warner.
The
I've never seen it.
yeah, that one guy,
All right, I'm going through my list.
Zachary Levi.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary Levi's in it. Oh, isn't it a Christian movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely,
Well, because I mean, Kurt Warner is very, very Christian.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so Brett, you have Little Giants, Burt Reynolds' Longest Yard, Any Given Sunday, Friday Night Lights. Criddle, you have Remember the Titans, Waterboy, Rudy, and Home Team. And I have Replacements, Draft Day, Invincible, and I've never seen Hoosiers. Seen Jerry Maguire way past when it was, everybody was all excited about it.
I never understood it. I remember watching it going, why is this such a good movie? And I still stand by that.
It's a love movie. That's what it is. It's a love story.
You had me at hello.
Blind Side. It's a one-time watch. I don't think I'll ever watch that one again, to be honest. Varsity Blues. It had a place and a time. I don't know. It might be the one I pick, honestly. Any Given Sunday. Oh, you already picked that one. That was I was removing them. We Are Marshall. I've never seen, and Radio I did see. I wasn't impressed by it. I'm going with Varsity Blues.
All right.
I'm happy with my team.
We don't want your laugh.
I was young when I watched that movie, but I still remember it, and it was decent. Too bad like The Faculty's not a football movie.
Oh, The Faculty. Oh, that is one of those that when every so often I can go back to and just enjoy. Like that is a young Elijah Wood.
Kevin Hart? No, is it Kevin Hart? No, what is his name? Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, yeah. And then you have what's her face? That was Jean Grey from the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Famke Jensen or something like that.
And there was a male teacher too, right? That was
Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. And
then you had the guy who was Terminator 2, the T2.
Oh, yeah. He was a coach.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that was an interesting movie. So I don't know. I'm just gonna see this out there. If I would have had Little Giants, I'd have had the best team. But I like my team.
You would have had Little Giants had the replacement been on the board. So
Hey, Criddle, if he would have let Little Giants slide instead of Waterboy, would you have picked that?
I would have picked Little Giants over
It would
Waterboy.
have never got back to me. Never.
would you have picked the replacements?
Yes, I would have picked the Replacements.
Would that have been your first pick? Because I'll tell you, it would not get back to you.
Yes, I would have picked that
Okay.
first.
That's funny that Replacements is a 101 for everybody. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because I think between all three of us, I think we were leaning towards the comedy side of things
Yeah.
and the dramatic. And so I was like, maybe Remember the Titans would have slipped under the radar, but
Well, it'd be interesting to do a football one or a baseball one because, like, with baseball, like Major League 2 is like up there. I love Little Big Leagues. Rookie of the Year is great. Angels in the Outfield is fantastic. Like, there's so many.
But then after that, what is there?
The Rookie.
I do like The Rookie. That is one drama that I think is underappreciated.
I like Moneyball. That's one of my favorites.
Moneyball's good.
I'm telling you, we should do a most rewatchable sports movie.
Yeah.
I agree. Just by the time I got to this, I was like,
Whoopi Goldberg's Eddie.
I secretly like that movie. I like Eddie. I don't like Whoopi Goldberg in it, but I like the basketball players and I like some of their conversations.
Well, I mean, my favorite is when she and Larry Johnson are going back and forth.
I like, I remember that. I like the whole black hole thing where, isn't it Greg Ostertag? Like, what's a black hole?
Oh, what's a hole? A black hole. Olin Polynice, former jazz guy. Greg Ostertag, former jazz guy.
Yep. Good times.
I think doing a most rewatchable sports movie will be tough because there's a lot of good ones.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems easy right now, but I think when we dig deep into it, it might be tough.
We might have that time perfectly set for March Madness.
Either that or the best part about the Super Bowl ending is that's the first official day of the baseball season starting.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The instant football ends, that's when everything starts transitioning to spring training in Florida and Arizona. Yeah.
Because the first, what do they call the first day again?
Opening day.
Is like April something, right?
Yeah.
Then it should just go pure basketball at that point. Sorry. I've lost interest in watching baseball back in the 90s.
I need to give baseball a chance. Like I love baseball movies and stuff, but I've never really sat down and watched a baseball game. I should.
It's fun in person. Did you hear about Utah and did we talk about this?
Yeah, about how we could be getting the Oakland A's for a while they're building a stadium in LA.
Or not LA, Vegas.
Las Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to have like a loner, like we're Oakland A fans for a little bit.
Well, they kind of did that with the Montreal Expos.
Oh, did they?
When the Montreal Expos were it was believed that they were going to either make them another Florida team or whatever. They spent time with the Expos being in Montreal, and then they would take them to, I want to say either the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico.
Interesting.
And a lot of people were outraged by it. And it was one of those things where like, well, if you're outraged by it, show up to the games.
Mm-hmm.
But the Montreal Expos fans were not showing up to the games. And so it was just like, hey, it was almost like, you need to do this or else you're losing the team. And they're like, well, don't take away the team. Are you going to go? Nah, tickets are so expensive. Time, I don't know. I'd rather just, okay. It's not a, occasional thing. You need to be invested in this team. And Montreal, there was diehards. There's always diehards, but there wasn't enough diehards to keep the team there, and so they moved into they're now the Washington Nationals.
Okay, that's Washington Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Washington didn't have a team before then?
They had multiple teams. They one of the Washington teams turned into the Houston Astros. I believe
so that was a long time ago.
The other Washington team, I believe, turned into the Texas Rangers too.
Once again, a long time ago. Jeez. Interesting. Okay. For some reason, I was trying to think back the other day of how long the Nationals have been around. I could have looked it up. Sometimes I just think and I don't look things up, and I could just find my answers quicker. And sometimes I'm like, why do I ask people questions when I could also look them up?
I think Washington Nationals' first year was 2004.
Wow. I had no idea. Good to know. All right. Well, now it's time for our recommendations. So my recommendation, I have a couple. I have a backlog of recommendations, but I tend to always skim off the most recent. And the most recent is something I told Brett about, but he's already started reading it. I would imagine Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. That is a great series. I actually enjoy that so far as one of my most favorite Daredevil series, to be honest. I wish the bad guys were a little bit better, but I like the story about Daredevil, and they kind of go back and forth between different times in his life. And so you get a really good story development of Daredevil, who he is, why he is the way he is. We all know, like, how he became Daredevil, just like we were told over and over and over again about Spider-Man's, how he became Spider-Man. But Daredevil, it's like, oh, we get to know the person. And also we still get fighting. We still get action and all that stuff. But it's a good story. I like it. I don't know. I'm finding myself really being impartial to Daredevil these days. Like, I really like him.
No, I totally agree because like one of my recommendations is reading older comics and using the Marvel Infinite or Unlimited or whatever. The funny thing is I'm really enjoying reading some of the 70s, 80s, 90s comics or whatever, because the stories are kind of generally self-contained. Sometimes they continue in a part 2, part 3, but they don't go in long 6-issue, 8-issue, 12-issue arcs like they do with modern comics. And I kind of like the ability to read a story, put it down.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that with the DC Unlimited Universe app, reading some old Batman, Superman stuff. And the interesting thing is like, I'm amazed at your enjoyment of X-Men, because reading X-Men comics gives me a headache.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
There's, well, at least maybe modern ones, is because there's, mutants are so, there's so few of them. And then you read some of the newer ones and they're just like, this one, now there's like 9,200 mutants just in this comic series alone.
Mm-hmm.
We'll eventually get to share all of them with you. There was an outbreak of that. Now there's like 10,000 more it's just like, it's being a mutant isn't special. I feel as though at least maybe early on it was special. And it just, the amount of mutants that are in existence, I think bogs my enjoyment down. Like I gave Jude a couple of, I went and bought a couple of X-Men ones just because I was curious if I would like new X-Men stuff. And I was just like, nope. I bought like 10 of them. And I read the first issue of this one. I'm like, I can't read this anymore. Why did I buy 4 more?
Yeah, I like this. The one thing I always find interesting about X-Men is like some of their characters come and go very quickly. You're just like, can't we learn more about him? Or like, let's have a storyline around, more about him so I can learn more who he is, what he's about, understand his powers a little bit more. But, I just enjoy at least the main X-Men,
mm-hmm.
Cyclops, Wolverine, Storm, all them people. I even enjoy the one thing I was happy about X-Men Unlimited. I think that's what it was. Ultimate X-Men, is that the Phoenix story did not go in a way that I didn't like, wasn't annoying. Because I always feel like, at least in the movies, Phoenix always goes into a terrible direction.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like, they should create a movie about, if they really are stuck on doing a Phoenix movie, they should do it with the Hellfire Club. Like, because the Hellfire Club is trying to get it out of her. Like, they want it to get out of her. Like, and they're doing everything they can. Oh, no, sorry.
The Hellfire Club.
There's the Hellfire Club. And then there's another one that I can't pronounce. I never knew how to pronounce it. It sounds very like Asian-ish word. And and they also want it out of her for a different reason. And so they're all trying to manipulate and trying to get it out. And yeah, it's an interesting story. But yeah, that's my recommendation, and I'm sticking to it.
All right.
Okay, my recommendation this week is I recently went to the arcade.
Ooh, which arcade?
Nickel City.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
So support your local arcades.
I know,
they're
right?
so fun. If you're in Utah and you're in Orem, go to Nickel City. It is so awesome, and it's super affordable there.
Mm-hmm.
They have a vast variety of games for both young and older groups. It is just so much fun. You could spend hours there.
And if I remember correctly, if it's in the Nickel City in Orem I imagine there's only one Nickel City in Orem, or Nickel Arcade or whatever. Because I know they have different names, and I still all call them Nickelcade, regardless. They have a pizza there somehow that is so good. And it's like you wouldn't expect this at an arcade. And I looked it up on their website. They bought it from a PhD student, like the recipe from like some, like Pennsylvania or something like that. I was like, wow. I'm like, no wonder, like, because me and Taylor, the other host of the podcast, we went there one time and our kids were like dying. We're hungry. And they bought the pizza and we took a bite and we're like, this is really good. And then also the games that are addicting there, I feel like, are the card games. Like you drop your nickel into the thing and it goes down and knocks down some coins and it knocks down
it forward.
some
Oh, yeah.
cards.
Yes.
That game is addicting.
I don't get it. It is.
So, yeah. One time I know you went with my son Jude, Brett,
Mhm.
and he came home with like a stack of cards, like at least about 2 inches high. I was like, how much money did you have to spend to get that? Yeah.
But at their nickel, you pay with nickels. So I mean, you could
Yeah.
spend hours and hours and hours there. Like $30 will get you like maybe 3 hours worth of
Yeah.
entertainment.
Mhm.
I mean, it's crazy.
Easily.
So support your arcades. They're so much fun. Keep them alive.
And honestly, we should franchise because I imagine, I don't know. I should look this up, but I imagine nickel arcades aren't very common outside of Utah. I just am assuming.
I think they would do really well.
Yeah, I think they would too.
It's always busy whenever I go there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I would love to see if they'd franchise. I'd love to sponsor that.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So I have a kind of unrecommendation, but I'm kind of recommending it for Jeremy because I'm curious what his thoughts are.
I already know what movie it is.
So me and my brother-in-law saw the movie Argyle, which it's one of those things where I'm like, it started and I'm like, oh, crazy cat lady who is a spy novelist. Okay, this is fine. Okay, crazy cat lady who's a spy novelist who is being hunted down by a secret government force because her books are turning out to be truer than she actually anticipated, which is kind of funny because one of the there was an James Bond movie, I want to say either The Spy Who Loved Me or Moonraker. There was a submarine that had a propeller on it. And the company that was making the James Bond movie was contacted by, Homeland Security going, how did you know about our secret sub that had this kind of propeller? And they're just like, we needed to make a sub. We wanted to make it look cool. And so we found this on like a car like model kit and we just put it on there. And they're like, oh, this is a complete accident. Okay, pretend that this call never happened. And so then, years later they came out with it. Actually, I probably asked, can we share this? And they're like, yeah, because everybody knows now that this was a thing. And so I'm like, okay. So then it goes into kind of interesting. I'm like, okay. And then it goes, I'm like, okay, I'm not digging this. And then it kind of takes it up a notch. And then there's a point in the movie where I just start hating the movie. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse. And then it's over. and so I it's like an unrecommend, but I'm also recommending it because I'm really curious about what Jeremy thinks about it, because I could actually honestly see you truly loving the entirety of the whole thing and be like, it's just fun. It's fine. It's okay. But I just, yeah.
Have you seen The Lost City?
No, I've not.
I was curious if it's anything like that.
Yeah, I should probably watch The Lost City.
That's like the same thing. Like the book, a lot of the stuff is coming true. They're finding out it's true or whatever. So yeah.
So, but what I do recommend, not only reading old comics, but also currently
check out the bathroom in the theater.
And check out the bathroom. And you know what? If you would like to spark a fun, interesting conversation, just leave random stuff in urinals.
What if you put a mirror in the urinal? Like just a little circle, little disc.
My second favorite thing that I've ever because going to the bathroom is just like monotonous. And so I think it's like the nuance of like that whole thing. The most enjoyable thing I've ever gone is there was a bathroom that I went into that had a pee swatch.
A piece watch.
So, like the paint swatches where you match your
Yeah,
paint.
yeah.
Somebody put a pee swatch in a urinal so that you could like match the color of your pee
See how hydrated
to see
you are.
how hydrated you were. That was fun.
Good times.
But besides that, I would probably say old comics, as well as like right now, the Robert Kirkman who did the Walking Dead series, bought the rights to Transformers and G.I. Joe. He is merging their universes in the comic form. It is like the best things that I've read in a long time. Like, the Daredevil that you're talking about, I believe the series starts in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some good comics that are coming out now, but these are consistently good. It is so fun.
I just bought a Flash of Two Worlds yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the whole series of the Flashpoint
Uh-huh.
Paradox, and then Hush, Batman Hush.
Oh, I just barely bought the omnibus Hush. I'm very excited for that one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, good things. All right. Well, have yourself a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl.